JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, Chuck insists child killers should face consequences of their actions. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck is holding fast to his view that children of a certain age who are convicted of capital murder should serve a minimum sentence of 20 years in prison before being eligible for parole. He said that youngsters from the age of 15 clearly must understand what you're doing and the consequence of what may happen if you are apprehended and get convicted in a court of law. Chuck was the chairman of the Joint Select Committee of Parliament now reviewing the Child Care and Protection Amendment Act 2023, which stipulates this mandatory sentence for children, urged members at Wednesday's meeting to side with him. Committee members were examining the matrix of submissions, with Chuck favoring the recommendation of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, for the minimum 20-year sentence to only apply to children in the cases of capital murder. I would agree in many ways with what the Office of the DPP proposed, that the minimum mandatory applies to capital murder, and 20 years is not insufficient. If you ask me, it's appropriate, he said. So quite frankly, I would urge us to agree that this section applies only to capital murder, and we agree with not less than 20 years, because this bill should send that signal, especially to parents who have children under their charge, to control their young people, because if they don't, then they'll be visiting these children for the next 20 years in jail, he said. Chuck further pointed out that a penalty must be imposed that satisfies the public interest and the sentiments of the friends and families of the victim. Otherwise, those families and friends of the victim may feel that the justice system has failed them. I feel that the justice system has to send that signal that when you're convicted of a crime, you're going to get a sentence that matches the seriousness of the offense. Otherwise, we're going to have a situation where people can't wait on the justice system. They're going to exact revenge and retaliation, especially for really serious, egregious crimes, he said. As Chuck ramped up the meeting, he proposed that the intended amendment to Section 73 of the Child Care and Protection Act only deal with capital murder, so that less egregious cases of non-capital murder are left up to the judge to decide on. I think it's a balancing we're trying to do, but at the same time, satisfy the public interest as to what the legislator wants to do, he said. While other members appear to still be on the fence on the matter, government senators Kavon Gale and Charles Sinclair were in agreement with the proposal for a mandatory minimum to only apply to children convicted of capital murder and for them to serve 20 years. Chuck urged colleagues to make a decision and come to a consensus at the next meeting of the committee. The committee is also deliberating on the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act 2023 and the Offences Against the Person Amendment Act 2023, which are related legislation dealing with minimum mandatory sentencing. Chang repeats shoot-to-kill advice to the police. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is again encouraging members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, to shoot to kill when confronted by armed criminals. Dr. Chang says there are criminals who are shooting at police officers at checkpoints. Against that background, he is urging police officers to use their training to defend themselves. The National Security Minister was speaking Friday at the annual Lasco Jamaica Constabulary Force Award ceremony held in St. Andrew. Last year, Dr. Chang came under criticism by civil rights groups for making a similar statement where he urged cops to shoot to kill. These advocacy groups were concerned as they said the statement could be interpreted as a tacit approval of extrajudicial killings. Stolen bulls recovered by St. Elizabeth lawmen. Swift action by the police, aided by citizens of Malvern, St. Elizabeth, led to the recovery of 2 brown bulls which were stolen on October 11. The owner reportedly fed the animals early in the day and left the area. However, about 7:45 p.m., citizens observed a black Toyota which parked on a section of the roadway, and the men were observed loading the animals into the vehicle. The lawmen were contacted, and vehicular checkpoints were set up at several major corridors. The bulls were later recovered on the Retrieve Main Road. The culprits, however, escaped, the police said. The police have commended the citizens who reported the matter early, which aided in the swift recovery of the animals. 5 people in custody after a gun and ammo seized in St. Elizabeth. 5 people were taken into custody after police officers assigned to the St. Elizabeth Police Division seized the Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum revolver along with 38 rounds of ammunition, along the New Holland Main Road in the parish on Friday, October 20. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Reports from the Black River Police are that about 11:55 p.m., lawmen were conducting patrol in the area when a vehicle was signaled to stop. A search was conducted of the vehicle and its occupants. During the search, the gun and ammunition was found inside the trunk of the motor car. Students toasted for rising above challenges. The National Child Month Committee recognized 17 students from non-traditional high schools across the island yesterday for their exceptional academic performance in the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) examinations. Among the awardees was Kenya Yufar, a student at Mayday High in Manchester. After receiving a sickle cell disease diagnosis, Yufar faced many obstacles which threatened to preclude her from academic success. But on Friday, despite her absence from the award ceremony owing to illness, Yufar was praised for her remarkable display of strength and determination. Her journey saw her facing numerous challenges following her diagnosis, one of which involved missing several weeks of school at any given time. As such, she constantly played catch-up, trying to turn in assignments on time and study previous topics while working on the current ones while other students progressed in the class. Things took a turn for the worse. As well, in fifth form, she experienced a sickle cell crisis that caused her to spend a lot of time in and out of the hospital while attempting to complete her school-based assessments, SBAs. The excruciating pain left her unable to walk, yet still she fought hard and disregarded her parents' advice to sit the exams the following year. Yufar was able to pass 7 out of the 8 CSEC subjects owing to the support of her family and friends, the teachers and administrative staff at her institution, alongside the staff at the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Another determined spirit awardee was Ashani Higgins of the Salvation Army School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Even though the 15-year-old had to deal with the frightening experience of losing his vision while also facing severe financial challenges, he remained determined to pursue his education and was able to attain 5 CSEC passes. Brianna Chambers was also commended for both her academic achievements and her steadfast commitment to community development through volunteer work. Chambers, a student of Portside School in Manchester, persevered despite the death of her grandfather when she was preparing for exams and dealing with the stresses of her family's financial struggles. She became her school's top CSEC student for the 2022-23 academic year as a result of her determination. Vice Principal of Solarfield Infant and Primary School, Terrell Christian, who delivered the keynote address, emphasized the importance of society celebrating youth achievement despite the many negatives within the school environment, such as student aggression that often led to fights. When our students accomplish anything, it should feel like our accomplishments. When our students experience these feel-good moments, we should also feel good because all of them are Jamaican pitney, and once they're excelling, Jamaica is excelling, he said. He also encouraged the youngsters to become agents of change and role models of the Jamaican pupils, combating the narrative that the nation's students are vulgar, disruptive, and out of control. Christian further told the pupils that there was a benefit in facing difficulties in life, as these are the moments that will shape the character and put you on a course that teaches you and propels you to go further. As November will be celebrated as National Parent Month and Youth Month, Marsha Smith, State Minister in the Ministry of Education and Youth, who gave greetings, highlighted that it was every individual's duty to work collaboratively at all times in the best interest of the young and their success. I just want to encourage all of us in our individual spaces to seek out a way to affirm our children, to show them that you love them and that you care for them, she said. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.